Yes, students. In the last 4 lectures, we have been trying to learn how to solve equations involving modulus function. So today we will be starting something based on how to learn equations, how to solve inequalities involving modulus function. Let's see. So there will be some formulas based on that first, and then we'll start discussing one by one. Let's see. The first formula, the very first formula in this topic is modulus of x square can be written as simply x square. Why? Because modulus is a machine which emits out positive numbers. So this modulus of x square is basically the square of a positive number. So otherwise also the square of a real number is always positive. Whether the number is negative or positive, when we square it, it becomes positive. For example, let's take an example over here. Suppose x is equal to 2. So if we take mod of x, that will become mod of 2. That is simply 2. Now let us put in the LHS. LHS is mod of x square. That is 2 square. That is 4. And RHS. RHS is x square. That is 2 square. That is 4. You can see over here. This is equal to LHS. Similarly, you can take a negative number also. This number was positive. You can take x is equal to minus 2, which is negative. Now mod of x, that is mod of minus 2. So as I told you, modulus always gives positive numbers. So it will become simply 2. Now if you find out LHS, it is mod of x square. So that is 2 square. That is 4. And RHS is same. RHS, that is x square. That is minus 2 square. That is 4. So you can see over here it is equal to LHS. So in both the cases, whether the number is negative or positive, it is shown over here that mod of x square is equal to x square. Let's see the other property. Second one, it is root of x square is equal to mod of x. Okay, square root function also has a similar property to modulus, that it always emits out positive numbers. This square root function, this is always emits out positive numbers. For example, let me put x as 2 as in the previous case. This implies x square will become 2 square, that is 4. Now let us put in LHS. LHS is equal to root of x square, that is root of 4, that is simply 2. And let us put in RHS, that is mod of x, that is mod of 2, that is simply 2, that is equal to LHS. Always remember that square root of 4 is 2. It is not plus minus 2, because a square root is an operator whose property is to give only positive numbers, not negative numbers. So that is why it is only 2, not plus minus 2. So this is also verified over here. Let's see the third property. The third one says mod of x is equal to mod of x or is equal to mod of minus x. Okay, now inside the mod, the innermost mod on the left hand side, it is written as mod of x. The mod of x in itself is a positive number. So if we take a mod of positive number, the positive number will be emitted out as it is. Means if I say that mod of x is equal to y, so this will become LHS is equal to mod of y, and y is greater than 0. So this will be simply y, because y is already positive, because mod of x is a positive real number. So that means this is equal to mod of x. So that is equal to RHS, and that's proved. Now let's see the extreme right hand side of this thing, minus mod of minus x, mod of minus x. So that is mod of minus 1 into x, it is written. So that is mod of minus 1 into mod of x. So that is 1 into mod of x, that is simply mod of x. Which is proved. Now let's see the fourth property. The fourth one says, the fourth one has two parts. The first part is mod of x plus y is equal to mod of x plus mod of y. It is only if x into y is greater than or equal to 0. Let's see how. It is saying some product of two numbers is greater than or equal to 0. So either both are positive or both are negative. Let's see. The first case in this case, x is greater than 0 and y is also greater than or equal to 0, like this. Let's take x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 4. Let's find out LHS. LHS will be mod of 3 plus 4, that is mod of 7, that is simply 7. Let's see the RHS also. RHS, that is mod of x plus mod of y, that is mod of 3 plus mod of 4, that is 3 plus 4, that is 7, that is equal to LHS. So for the first case, it is verified that whenever xy is greater than or equal to 0 or x and y both are positive, the property holds good. Let's see the second case. X is less than or equal to 0 and y is also less than or equal to 0. So in that case, let x is minus 3 and y is equal to minus 4. Then this will, let's find out LHS, that is mod of x plus y, that is mod of minus 3 minus 4, that is mod of minus 7, that is simply 7. Let's find out RHS, that is mod of x plus mod of y, that is mod of minus 3 plus mod of minus 4, that is 3 plus 4, that is 7, and that is equal to LHS. So for the second case also it is verified. You can see the property 4 also holds good. Now let's see the property 5. It is saying that if A is greater than 0, in that case there are two cases. Then the first case is if mod of x is less than or equal to A. So this implies x lies between minus A and plus A. Now how does this come? Let's see. If mod x is less than or equal to A, where A is given to be positive, that means towards both sides of the inequality sign, this less than inequality sign, less than equal to inequality sign, this mod of x being the modulus function is a positive number, and this A, it is given to be positive. That means towards both sides we have a positive number. So it's a rule that whenever towards both the sides of the inequality sign we have positive numbers, we can square both sides. Okay? We can square both sides. It will not affect the sign of inequality. So it will become mod of x ka square is less than or equal to A ka square. Now we have studied in the property 1 that mod of x square is equal to simply x square is less than or equal to A square. So this implies x square minus A square is less than or equal to 0. So this implies x minus A into x plus A is less than or equal to 0. So that means, now this is very popular inequality, we have studied before also, that x is by method of intervals, x is between minus A and A, or we can say x belongs to minus A comma A in the closed interval. So this is how it is proved. We have to prove this only, this one. Okay. Now let's see the second part of this inequality. The second part says if mod of x is greater than or equal to A, so this implies x is less than or equal to minus A or x is greater than or equal to A. Let's see how it comes. We will see mod of x is greater than or equal to A. Now A is positive and x is also, mod of x is also positive. So let us do square both sides. Square both sides. Okay, thus remember this thing that if the inequality sign is there and towards the left hand side and right hand side of the inequality sign we have positive numbers, so we can square both sides without affecting the sign of inequality. So let us square both sides. This will give us mod of x ka square is greater than or equal to A ka square. Let me bring A square towards the left hand side. Mod of x square minus A square is greater than or equal to 0. Now mod of x square will be simply replaced by x square minus A square is greater than or equal to 0. So this will become x minus A into x plus A is greater than or equal to 0. So that means x is less than or equal to minus A or x is greater than or equal to a, because this is a very popular inequality which we have studied before also by method of intervals. So this will become x belongs to minus infinity comma minus a union a comma infinity. So this is the second result we have come over here for the property number 5. Now let's see the property number 6. It says if a is less than or equal to mod x is less than or equal to b. So this implies x belongs to minus b comma minus a union a comma b. Let's see how this comes. Now we are saying that modulus of x, which is a positive number, lies between a and b. That means a is small and b is bigger. It clearly implies a is less than b. If I multiply with minus sign on both the sides, the sign will reverse. This we know before also, that whenever in an inequality we multiply with a negative sign or divide with a negative number, the sign reverses. So this. Now if I draw a number line over here like this, because a is less than b, so a will come here and b will come here, and minus a is greater than minus b. Minus a is greater than minus b. Now that means this will be minus a and this will be minus b. Now let's see. It is saying a is less than or equal to mod x is less than or equal to b. So there are two inequalities. This is suppose a and this is suppose b, and a and b both have to be true. This is the case over here. Now let's see. Let us solve a first. It is saying mod of x is greater than or equal to a. As in the previous formula we have studied that this implies x is less than or equal to minus a or x is greater than or equal to a. Similarly, let's see about b inequality. It is saying mod of x is less than or equal to b. So that means x is greater than or equal to minus b and less than or equal to b. Now let's draw the number line. We will show both a and b on the number line simultaneously, because a and b both have to be true. So this is minus b, this is minus a, this is a, and this is b. Now first, capital A says x has to be less than minus a, less than or equal to minus a. You can see that in all the four inequalities which we have come over here, equal to sign is there. So we will show all the four minus b minus a and b with a bold dot. We will consider the equal to sign over here by showing the bold dot. Now let's see. The first one is saying that x has to be less than or equal to minus a or greater than or equal to a. Let me show the first case by forward lines. Less than or equal to minus a means it will be like this. Forward lines. Forward slanted lines. And greater than or equal to a means it will be this part of the number line. Forward slanted lines. This whole. Now the second one says that it has to be between minus b and b. Let me show this interval by backward slanted line. Minus b. This is. And b. Now our answer is, as I told you over here, a and b. That means a and b both have to be true. A says this thing, b says this thing. Means a says forward slanted shade and b says backward slanted shade. And they are saying a and b both have to be true. That means forward slant and backward slant both should come in that part. That means that part of the number line which has both the shades. That means this part and this part. This will be the answer of this inequality. It is between minus b and minus a and between a and b. You can see between minus b and minus a and between a and b. So the answer to this inequality will be simply x belongs to minus b comma minus a and close interval union a comma b. So this will be the answer to this inequality, and this is how it is shown. I hope it is clear to you. In this class we have studied the basic formulas based on modulus inequalities. In the next class we will study some examples based on these basic formulas. How will we apply these basic formulas? How these formulas are applied in the examples by solving the inequalities involving modulus function. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.